welcome to this month's Cottage in the Highlands garden update video. I need to find a better title for them, but that's what it is. What we've been up to, how this month have been. You can probably tell I'm not in the garden, although bits of the garden are here because there's chilies, tomatoes, aubergines, peppers, anything that needs a bit of warmth. Growing on the shelves behind me. It's next to the Aga, so it's really nice and warm, and it's underneath a big skylight, so it gets a lot of light, and that's really what this month has been about. Seedlings, all the seedlings. So I'm going to finish brewing my cup of tea and then I'm going to tell you all about it. So we've had a good month here at Cottage in the Highlands. Although the weather has been less good than last month. It's been grey and windy a lot of the time. Too grey and windy for me to be out in the garden. So I've actually spent a lot more time inside than I intended to. But I sow all my seedlings at the kitchen table, so that's been alright. And I've been able to do quite a lot of that. I've also done a lot of potting on of seedlings, and all of that is done in the grow house outside where it's nice and warm and dry. So I've spent my fair share of time sitting on the floor in there, handling my little seedlings and having fun with them. So it's been a good month. We have had some more structural work outside. Trees have come down, the flowers have changed from snowdrops and crocuses to daffodils and hyacinths, and it's absolutely beautiful. Trees have been pruned, more beds have been created, and we're starting to fill the beds now, and it looks absolutely fabulous. Like last month, I'm going to give you a little bit of an introduction now, and then I'm going to show you what we've been up to over the course of the month, and finally we'll finish with a garden tour. It's too miserable today to film that, so I'll hold out for another day or two and show you what things are like at the moment. But I'm very pleased with how we're doing. So what have I enjoyed this month? Well, I've really enjoyed looking at the garden. The garden usually fills me with a bit of trepidation because it's overgrown and dishevelled and all that kind of stuff. But it's looking really good at the moment. I can really see how it's taking shape, and I think Seamus can as well. We've been doing so much landscaping work and it's really starting to pay off, and it's looking really nice. And some of the plants that we've moved are so happy, and particularly the rhubarb and the strawberries. We've got 5 rhubarb plants now because one of them split into 3 when we moved it to where it is now. So we gained additional plants and they're all growing and they're all really happy, so I'm looking forward to crumble soon. The other thing I've really enjoyed is potting up my seedlings. I've never really bothered with that in the past. I've always sowed them either in individual pots or sort of multi-sowed, but I've left them like that until they're ready to go out. And this year I thought I'm going to be better about it, partially brought on by using these massive trays like what's behind me there. It's got 180 modules, so as you can imagine there's not a lot of compost in each of them, so when the seedlings come up you do need to move them on fairly quickly, and I've really enjoyed doing that. I'm getting much better at not damaging them when I do it, and almost all of them have done really well and have taken to their new homes and continued to grow, and I'm just so happy about that. I've discovered some new favourite vegetables. Red Russian kale looks amazing. The leaves are really happy. I can't wait for them to grow bigger, and I'll certainly be sowing more of that. I'll be trying for a successive crop of them. But I'm also so pleased with the little things you see behind me here. My mixed tray of aubergines, chilies and peppers. This is the first tray of chilies. And then this tray of tomatoes that sprouted this week. Everything's doing so well. I've potted up one lot of chilies in that top tray. So I've taken them out of their modules and popped them quite deep into the soil, pretty much up to their leaves, to strengthen them and help them grow roots. I'm going to be doing the same with the tomatoes. The tomatoes are quite leggy because they're inside, but I don't think they'll mind that too much. I started them several to a pot, and I'll be potting them up in the next week or so into individual pots. And when I do that, I shall bury them quite deep, and I think they'll be absolutely fine with that. And yeah, I'm really pleased with how that's all coming along. It's the 5th of March and it's a gloriously sunny day today. One of my tasks this month is to prune our smaller fruit trees. The garden came with lots of big fruit trees, many apples, dams and plum, etc. Cherries. A lot of them are very tall and very difficult to harvest, and that pruning is beyond me. I leave that to Seamus. But a few years ago we started planting small fruit trees in this area, in this top part of the woodland. And the idea is to keep them small and manageable and harvestable. So we've got 2 pears, a cherry, a plum and an apple. The apple is 7 years old now, or we've had it for 7 years, might be older than that. And the plum is 3, I think. Last year the apple had so many fruit on it that it changed its shape because it bent over in the wind. It was a straight tree before, but it isn't now, so enjoy the pruning. One of the things I've enjoyed most this month is watching the chickens have their dust baths. They love doing this and they seek out every opportunity to do it. Last month we took down a massive hedge in that part of the garden behind me. It separated the woodland from this main garden and we've always hated it anyway. We chopped it down to the ground and that took a bit of time. But in the process we've discovered some dead trees and other things in what was in the hedge. So today we started taking down a massive big dead rhododendron with a bit of help from a friend. So I'll show you a bit of a time lapse of that and just some other shots of that. It's so satisfying to do this kind of thing because sculpting the garden into the shape that we want it to be, it's just the most satisfying thing in the world. It's maybe more satisfying than growing all the vegetables. Maybe. It's very good anyway, and it'll open up this whole area. It'll encourage all the bulbs to migrate to this area as well, and a few of them are popping up already, so I'm sure there'll be more in the future. But also it allows us to see all the beautiful spring flowers from the main part of the garden, and it brings light to the apple and cherry trees that are there, and I think it's going to be a great thing once it's done. So I've just spent 2 minutes gently digging up the alliums that had appeared in our big bed. Oh, there's another one, I think. Yep. And these are survivors, I think. We've had bad luck growing onions and garlic up here for the last couple of years. A lot of them didn't come out, they're smothered in other things. And it just didn't work very well. Now moved them to a different spot. But we must have missed some survivors, like you do with potatoes, you know, there's always a random potato. But I've just dug them up and look at them. I'm just gonna prop them all up. I've not counted them yet, but this is what's here. 3 alliums, so I'm going to move them to a raised bed over there where I've planted some other stragglers, and hopefully they'll be happy there and grow into big tasty things. You can see these other alliums growing here. They were stragglers that I found in the beds before we turned this into these beds. And I propped them in here and they're very happy, and they weren't any bigger than these. So I'm hopeful that things will work out. There's also one remaining chard plant in here and a few little beetroot that I rescued from another part of the garden. So here we go. So I finally caught a bit of sun and I thought I'd show you around for our garden tour. Things are looking good. This path here is old and we'll be building a slightly straighter path down there, but for now it's doing really well. We've built 2 beds and one to the third one. The rhubarb has moved to the wall, as have the strawberries. Some seedlings have been planted into the first bed. The fruit are really happy and things are looking wonderful in that polytunnel there. This is our rhubarb bed. We've got 5 plants. We had 2 and then one split into 3. All the bits at the back when we moved it to this one, and it's very happy here. Similarly, the strawberries are all grown from runners and they too are looking good. Over here, Lulu! Over here where the Dalmatian is, this is our bed of seedlings. We've got a row of turnips, broad beans, some random onion and garlic we found, and then 4 rows of spinach and another row of turnips. I'm very happy with how that's going. This here's the soft fruit patch, raspberries, gooseberries, the tayberry, blueberries, all that kind of stuff, currants, and they're all looking very happy. Look at these raspberries, all eager to go. Very, very happy with how this is all doing. Finally, the grow house where all the magic happens. Look at how happy everything is. These are my little artichokes, some rockets, some onion grown from seed, and some coriander. Some plants on the ground here. We've got some beetroot, some rockets, some lettuce, and loads of radishes, and more little lettuces in that pot there. And up here, we've got seedlings doing their thing, some of them potted up, some of them yet to be potted up, but they're all looking really, really splendid. Really happy with all of these. They'll be going outside soon. And then this is all the potted up seedlings. And look at how well they're all doing. I'm particularly pleased with this, the red Russian kale. You can watch it grow. It's just absolutely fantastic. And then these are the peas that are furthest along, and I'll be putting them out soon, but everything looks good. Look at the size of that calabrese. All looking good. Cauliflowers here, more calabrese, some more spinach, and a broad bean that I found in the floor. These are kohlrabi, some carrots, radishes, random peas, and over here is some flowers that I grew from seeds, and I'm so happy with these. There's a bit of lettuce in there as well, a bit of parsley, but it's largely flowers. These are the only pots that didn't work when we transplanted things. Something's eaten my zinnias, but only these ones. It's not touched these ones, so I'm not too sad about that. There's some cosmos sunflowers, and everything's looking great. So it's goodbye from me, goodbye from Lulu, and goodbye from the chickens. And we're sitting in what is going to be the pea and sweet pea bed, and they're all going to grow up there. Hopefully I can show you that next month. So thank you for watching. Bye.